Thanks very much for your time. I wish we were speaking under happier circumstances. I mean, how frustrating has it been over the last couple of weeks? Can you sum the mood up that you're feeling and in the camp?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because, you know, with the first two games we perhaps didn't start how we would have liked, and then the rain sort of got in the way, and we had a week in Colombo where there wasn't much cricket, and then one massive match against India, which once again things didn't quite go our way. So yeah, I think when you've been at World Cups and you've got a game left and you know you're not in the hunt for the semi-finals, it is difficult, but we've got plenty to play for in this next game. I think we want to show that we're good enough to be in the top 4 teams, and unfortunately, yeah, that's not the way it's fell this tournament. But yeah, the girls are pretty upbeat still. We've got a young group and we just want to go out there and play with some pride.
You've had a bit to say about the Colombo rain and all that. I don't want to get you in any sort of trouble, but do you think as a general point going forward, if this situation happens again, whether it's ICC, broadcasters, whatever, just a degree of flexibility? Look, it's going to rain. Start at 10 o'clock. Let's get some cricket in.
Oh, without a doubt. And to be perfectly honest, I don't care if I get into trouble. Absolutely. I think especially for World Cups.
Right.
I mean, bilateral series, whatever else, you know, maybe a bit more leniency there, but World Cups, they come around once every 4 years. I heard Fatima Sana also speaking about it, that they don't play much cricket. We don't play much cricket, especially in that ODI format, and to have the World Cup, I guess, be so badly affected by something, again, that everyone knows about. I think we saw it as soon as we found out that the tournament was going to be played partly in Sri Lanka. October is monsoon season, so it didn't take much, a little search on Google, and I mean, it's pretty obvious to everyone around that. So you certainly hope moving forward that, yeah, there's a bit more future planning, that there's a bit more, yeah, I guess flexibility, as you say there, to be able to adapt in that. And obviously, yeah, look, I understand that money, broadcasters, TV, it all helps fund the game, but it's not much fun just watching covers be put on and off and players in the changing room. So, yeah, I certainly do hope whatever tournament it is, whatever bilateral series, that something can be done prior to, you know, prior to a tournament or something getting underway.
Good points. Not your World Cup this time, but Dubai. Go on, big smiles from both of you. What are your memories of that night?
Yeah, I think that's what has been the highest of highs to almost the lowest of lows. So
slightly contrasting World Cups.
Yeah, that's cricket, and I think over the 20 years we've played together, we've experienced all of those feelings. But yeah, like that tournament in Dubai, unlike this one, it felt like as soon as we had that game against India, we got momentum, and then every little thing that could went our way, and we just got on the roller coaster, and we just kept getting momentum, and it felt like it was meant to be. And perhaps that's the problem with this tournament, it's felt like it hasn't meant to be. But yeah, so many fun memories, and be able to share that moment with Soph as a leader, and just afterwards, you know, the feeling in the changing room the other night is one you want to forget, but the feeling after that is one that I will never forget, and those are the memories that you hang on to.
Come on, what's it like as captain, lifting a World Cup above your head with your teammates behind you?
Yeah, it's something that you always dream of, and especially, like Suze mentioned, when we've played for nearly 20 years, they are the moments that you play for, and I guess, feel really lucky that we were able to experience that at least once in our career, and it will be. It's the memories, absolutely, that the actual game I thought was fantastic from us, like fearless, bold. You know, I just think about Suze and Georgia going out there, and straight away there was just this feeling of calmness and taking it on. And yeah, again, I know there was moments, and being able to watch it back later on, you know, me and Suze remember in that last over, you know, we caught each other's eye a couple of times and sort of had to wind it back in and be like, hey, let's just make sure we finish this game first. But yeah, to be able to share that, the memories that we're going to hold on to is something that will certainly live very long in our memories.
Could have been 2, apart from Ellyse Perry's boot.
Yeah, why did you bring that up? You've just gone from up here back down again.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, Sue said it, didn't she? Roller coaster. Yeah. That's what cricket's about. It's about, yeah, what this game's about. I mean, that seems so long ago now. What was that, 2010, wasn't it?
2010, yeah.
In West Indies. And it's funny to think now, you know, me and Pez have managed to play a lot alongside each other as well of recent, and yeah, it's funny to look back. I mean, Shelley Nitschke was in that game as well. He's now coach, probably shows our age, but yeah, to think where the game's got to and how far we've come. But yeah, I mean, that tournament was probably one of the slowly moving things in the women's game, I think, that have got us to this point in time at the moment.
So where are we with the women's game at this point in time? Vastly
big
different from when you two started.
Yeah, and no disrespect to the other sides, but our first few World Cups, when you turned up, you were almost, unless things went badly, New Zealand, England, Australia, India would make the top 4, and you've seen how that's changed in the last 10 years, I think, in terms of you turn up to a World Cup and given conditions and different players standing up, anyone can beat anyone, and that's a big difference in terms of the competitiveness of the tournaments. Everyone talks about it, but the power hitting, the fielding, and the pace of bowling just naturally, when we first started, it was almost a level playing field. Everyone was amateur. So if you wanted to turn up to a World Cup, train every day, almost on your own, finding ways to find a coach that would work with you, no one was professional. So if you were willing to do the hard work, you could compete at the world stage. Whereas now it's not quite a level playing field. There's more resources and different nations, but everyone is professional at a different level in their country, and that just increases the athleticism. It's not rocket science for me. I think ever since we've been athletes, we've grown up around young boys and probably looked and thought, why can't we be professional at a young age like they are? And now that's changed. So I think that's the most pleasing thing, is if people want to be the best cricketer they can be, they have every opportunity in different countries to be able to do that. So that's the difference. You train more, you get fitter, faster, stronger. It's, makes sense to me.
When I read bios, and forgive me for this, of female cricketers of a certain age, the boy thing always comes up. You start playing cricket against boys. Does that need to change? But the other part of that is it any way beneficial that they're a bit faster, a bit stronger? It's like when I was growing up and I play, club cricket with grown men. It made you learn blimmin' quick.
Yeah, I think, it'd be fascinating to see the stats around that in terms of, the players of the more experienced variety and how many of them played boys cricket growing up. I think in New Zealand, there wasn't too many opportunities. There weren't too many girls playing cricket, so you sort of stood out like a sore thumb a little bit, and your name certainly got thrown around from a very young age. I know both of us started our domestic careers very young. Mealy Kerr's the same. I think she was 13. So I think it was of huge benefit to us, but it was also, I guess, indicative of the situation that we found ourselves in, that there wasn't girls' teams, that there wasn't a professional setup, and if you wanted to push yourself and to further your game, playing boys cricket was the best option for it. Nowadays, I'm not so sure. I still think that there's got to be an element of, if you're good enough, why not? Yeah. But I think because there's so many more opportunities now for females and girls and seeing what's available, I think it's really exciting that the game just continues to grow, and it's almost, we're seeing it at the top end with professionalism and contracts and things like that, but it's starting to leak down, I think, a little bit through the pathways, and eventually we'll get to the grassroots stuff where the standard is good enough that we can just play all girls cricket in the clubs, at schools, everything like that. I think that's the ideal situation that we get to, but until we get there, I think there needs to be a level of flexibility where if there's some absolute gun youngster out there that needs to push themselves, I think it's always it's great to see them.
The transformation has been brilliant, mind-boggling in many ways. You were hockey, you were basketball, you were playing against boys, so all of that sort of stuff. You were the first recipient, I think, of a central contract in New Zealand, 2013. You look at where you were and how it was then, and you mentioned Mealy, and there's lots of Phoebe Litchfield, and for England, for Alice Capsey. The opportunities now for females in cricket is staggering. I remember speaking to Charlotte Edwards. She was always talking about had to buy her own sort of blazer and playing in skirts. And at the time, when she didn't have to play in skirt, that was the biggest fundamental thing she'd ever seen in the women's game. And now look at it.
Yeah, and that wasn't too long before we started. So it's been so fast. But I remember that first contract, and I joke with the girls, it wasn't to play cricket, it was mainly to coach cricket. And then I played on the side. And that wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it's hard because I actually, in a funny way, feel like I've had the better of both worlds.
Really?
If I was Mealy Kerr, there's no way I would have been able to do both sports. At 16, I would have had to make a choice. I would have signed a contract, and cricket or basketball would have owned me, and it would have meant I had to give away one of those sports earlier than perhaps I was ready. It wasn't until I was 24 that I felt like I'd given both a really good go, but I felt like I wanted to really invest in one. Just personally, no pressure from anyone or no contract to sign. And I don't think I would have gone to the Olympics for basketball had it been...
That must have been pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and so that's an opportunity that had it been professional, I don't think I would have been able to manage. So I then later on in my career got the benefit of being professional after doing what I wanted for 10 years. So yeah, there are bonuses of it, and you do just look around, and sometimes I think the pressure and the scrutiny these young players are under from the word go. We sort of had 10 years before too many people were talking about our games, the media, so you, with experience, learn how to deal with that, whereas people are thrown in the deep end. So there's positives of both, but I've been really, I guess, privileged of being able to experience the amateur and professional, and wouldn't change it for the world. I know there's some big dollars being thrown around, but
Probably bigger than that first contract you signed.
yeah, and I had to work for it. That's why I remind Millie every day. But yeah, it's just so different. But yeah, I sort of look back and wonder how I would manage the expectations that the likes of Litchfield, Capsea and Millie are under, and they're playing cricket all year round. We used to get winters off and play other sports.
Yeah. I had to check this, double check it and check it again. You two have both played best part of 2 decades of international cricket. Not one test cap between you. Is that a source of utter frustration?
Depends on the day. At times, absolutely. I think as any professional cricketer, you want to enjoy the challenge of playing test cricket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called a test game, isn't it? That you're testing yourself and your abilities. So, absolutely. I would have loved to have been able to pull on the whites and roll the arm over and things. I mean, I'm not sure I would have lasted all 4 days. We have joked a little bit about, us. It probably would have been over in about a day and a half, but we would have had a bloody good time at it. We might have scored 600, but would be, skittled out for 30 the next one, but we'd have a hell of a good time. But, look, it's unfortunate that it hasn't happened, I guess, in our careers. We've still got hope, though, that, maybe one day for these other kids in the team still that they get the opportunity to play. And it's been so cool to see now other countries starting to step up. I think Australia are going and playing West Indies, South Africa obviously, starting to play a few more, India, England. Like it's so cool to watch and to see the females playing in that format. And I guess the hard side is, though, is where does it fit? I mean, you look at the men's schedule and how much cricket's being played and where does it fit with all the formats. But, there's a lot bigger picture that goes into, we'd love to play test cricket. It's the strength and conditioning, it's the loading, it's the preparation that goes into it that, is definitely going to have a lot of thought go into it. But, I would have loved to have played a test. I'm not sure I would have been any good at it, but it would have been fun.
What's the future of cricket in New Zealand for females looking like at the moment? Very bright, the talent coming through?
Yeah, look, there's more and more opportunities. We obviously have our Super Smash competition, which I think would benefit from overseas players coming and playing just to strengthen that. But I think the best thing that I've seen in the last couple of years is our A team. We've lacked having an A program, so if you're not in the top 17 contracted players in the country, there's very little cricket and very little competitive cricket. So we had an A team tour England, that was a really close series. We had a group go to India for camps. So it's just like we talk about it till the cows come home about more cricket, and I think that is the difference in New Zealand. A 15-year-old boy, the amount of cricket that they've played compared to a 15-year-old girl is you can't even compare. So yes, there is pathways and opportunities. It's just now about giving them that volume of cricket at a decent level as well, and the more we can have A programs, the more tours to the places like India and Sri Lanka, so it's not their first time when they come to a World Cup.
Now you're sitting on the final one, because you're sitting on the fence on this one as to what you're going to do with the ODI cricket, but tomorrow, last ODI for New Zealand. What a journey.
Yeah, I mean 50 over cricket. I haven't decided on T20s yet.
Fine, 50 over
50
cricket.
overs, so it's going to be emotional, I know that, but I'm just really looking forward to it. There's a real lightness about knowing that it's going to be the end of me in that format. And I think we've said it, throughout, is that we just want to go out there and play with freedom and enjoy it for what it is. I'm going to have plenty of time after the game and a long time to live, hopefully, to be able to reflect and things like that. So for me, it is. It's just about going out there and, talking with family and friends back home. I just want to go out there and why did I start cricket? It's because I wanted to go out and play with my mates and, that's all I want to do tomorrow. Win, lose, draw. I mean, hopefully not draw or lose, but I just want to go out there and play with my mates, one last time and to be able to, have my arm around Suze in the anthem and to look down the line and see all the smile on those girls' faces. Like, to me, as corny and as cliche as that is, that's genuinely all I want, is to go out with a smile on my face and know that I've done everything I could in this jersey.
Thank you very much for your time, both of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.